What if that number, the one your doctor circled on your lab report, isn't the real enemy? What if the diagnosis of high cholesterol is actually a messenger, a warning sign of something much deeper, something that, if you address it, could transform not just your cholesterol, but your entire sense of vitality for the next 10, 20, or even 30 years? Today, we're going on a journey, not into a fictional story, but into a powerful, natural framework that addresses the real reason that number is high in the first place. You see, when you get that call from your doctor's office, the one about your LDL being 140 or 150, the immediate suggestion is often a prescription for a statin. It's presented as the standard, straightforward solution. But what if that solution is like taking the battery out of a smoke alarm because you don't like the noise, all while ignoring the fire in the kitchen? What if there was a way to put out the fire itself? Over the next few minutes, we're going to unpack that exact framework. We'll explore everything from a foundational habit you can start today to the twin pillars of recovery that are non-negotiable, all the way to the nutritional reset that forms the core of this transformation. But you absolutely must stay with me until the very end, because the final piece of this puzzle, the vital truth, is the one thing that changes the entire game. It's the root cause that, frankly, our medical system is often too overwhelmed to fully explain. Understanding it is the key to unlocking lasting, vibrant health, not just managing a number. So, if you're ready to become the detective of your own health, hit that subscribe button and join our community. And just a quick important reminder, all the information shared today is for educational purposes. Everyone's health situation is unique, so please consult your doctor or healthcare provider before making any significant changes to your diet, exercise, or health regimen. Our goal here is to empower you with knowledge so you can have a more informed conversation with them. All right, let's begin. Our foundational habit, the river of life. Let's start with something so simple, so fundamental, that it's almost criminally overlooked. Before we talk about any food, any exercise, or any supplement, we have to talk about water. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Water? That's the big secret? And I hear you. But the reason we're starting here is that without this foundation, everything else we build on top of it will be less effective. The challenge for so many of us is that we live in a state of chronic, low-grade dehydration and don't even realize it. We mistake thirst for hunger. We reach for another cup of coffee instead of a glass of water, and our body's intricate systems start to run sluggishly. To truly grasp this, let's use an analogy. Imagine your circulatory system, your entire body, is like a grand flowing river. When you're fully hydrated, that river is clear, fast-moving, and powerful. It effortlessly transports vital nutrients to all your cells, and just as importantly, it efficiently carries metabolic waste and toxins away to be filtered out. Everything works as it should. But when you're dehydrated, that magnificent river turns into a sluggish, muddy creek. The flow slows down, the water becomes thick with sediment, and it struggles to deliver nutrients and remove waste. This puts a strain on every single organ, from your kidneys to your heart to your brain. This state can contribute to inflammation and metabolic dysfunction, the very things that can lead to cholesterol issues. Therefore, making a conscious commitment to proper hydration is the first non-negotiable step. The solution is simple. Keep a glass or a reusable bottle of water with you throughout the day. Your goal isn't to force down gallons at a time, but to sip consistently. For most people, several large glasses a day is a great target. Think of each glass as an investment in keeping your internal river flowing cleanly and powerfully. This simple habit supports every other positive change you're about to make. A supportive strategy, the expert pit crew. Once our foundation of hydration is solid, we can look at some natural allies that can support our journey. This is where supplements come in. It's crucial to understand the role of supplements correctly. They are not magic pills. They cannot and will not fix a suboptimal lifestyle. But when used intelligently alongside the major changes we're going to discuss, they can be incredibly helpful. Let's use another analogy here. Think of your body as a high-performance race car, and your diet and exercise are the engine and the skilled driver. You can have the best car and driver in the world, but you won't win the race without an expert pit crew. That's what these supplements are. They are the specialists who come in to provide targeted support, tuning the engine, optimizing the fuel mixture, and ensuring the tires are perfectly inflated. They support the main effort. They don't replace it. Many natural compounds have been studied for their anti-inflammatory and metabolic benefits. For example, a report from the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health highlights the extensive research into compounds like turmeric, which contains curcumin. This is one of my favorites for its powerful natural anti-inflammatory properties. Remember, the underlying issue with high cholesterol is often inflammation. Ginger is another fantastic choice, known for its soothing effects on the body. And then there's cinnamon, which has been the subject of fascinating studies, some published in journals like the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition for its potential role in supporting insulin sensitivity. Fish oil capsules, rich in omega-3 fatty acids, are also well regarded for their role in supporting cardiovascular health. Therefore, while you focus on the big picture lifestyle changes, consider adding a few of these supportive elements. You don't need all of them. Pick one or two that resonate with you and see how you feel. Think of them as your personal pit crew, helping you run your best possible race. The twin pillars of recovery: managing stress and prioritizing sleep. Now we move from the supporting cast to two of the main characters in our health story: stress and sleep. Too many people believe that if they just get their diet and exercise right, these two things don't matter as much. That could not be further from the truth, especially for those of us over 60. The central challenge here is modern life itself. We live in a world of constant notifications, 24/7 news cycles, and endless to-do lists. This creates a state of chronic stress, where our bodies are constantly bathed in hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones are designed for short-term fight-or-flight emergencies, not for marinating in them day after day. When they are chronically elevated, they wreak absolute havoc on our metabolic health, directly fighting against our efforts to improve things. And then there's sleep. We treat it as a luxury, something to be cut short when we're busy. We see it as wasted time. But sleep is arguably the most productive time of your day. It's when your body does its most critical repair work. It's when you consolidate memories, regenerate cells, and regulate the very hormones that control your appetite, your mood, and your metabolism. Let's picture your body as a beautiful, intricate garden. Your diet provides the high-quality seeds and soil, and exercise is the diligent work of the gardener tending to the plants. You could have the best seeds and the most dedicated gardener in the world, but if your garden is battered by a relentless daily storm, that's chronic stress, and simultaneously scorched by a severe drought, that's lack of sleep. Nothing can possibly thrive. The plants will be weak, withered, and vulnerable. Therefore, you must protect your garden. This means creating two new non-negotiable rules for yourself. The first is a 1-hour-a-day stress management rule. This is highly personal. For you, it might be an intense session at the gym, a quiet walk in nature, losing yourself in a comedy show, meditation, or spending quality time with loved ones. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it lowers your cortisol levels. The second rule is to fiercely protect your sleep. For most mature adults, that sweet spot is between 6.5 to 8 hours. This isn't about being lazy. It's about providing the calm weather and the nourishing rain your garden desperately needs to flourish. Without these twin pillars, the best diet and exercise plan in the world will stand on shaky ground. The movement mandate, your body's internal pharmacy. All right, let's get moving. Exercise is not a punishment for eating, and it's not just about burning calories. For our purposes, it is one of the most powerful medicines you can ever take to reverse the root cause of high cholesterol. The reality is that our modern, comfortable lives have engineered movement out of our day. We sit to drive, we sit to work, we sit to relax. And many of us, as we get older, become fearful of exercise, worried about injury, or thinking it's too late to start. This is a tragic misconception. Your body is designed to move, and it craves it. Think of it this way. Your body has its own internal pharmacy, capable of producing the most powerful health-promoting molecules known to science. But this pharmacy doesn't just dispense its medicines automatically. It's motion-activated. Every time you move, whether it's a brisk walk, lifting something heavy, or stretching, you are writing yourself a prescription and telling your internal pharmacy to dispense it. Walking, for instance, especially after a meal, dispenses molecules that dramatically improve your muscle cells' sensitivity to insulin. This is a game changer. Strength training, even just using your own body weight or light dumbbells, tells your pharmacy to release compounds that build and maintain precious muscle mass. The more muscle you have, the more storage tanks you have to pull excess sugar out of your bloodstream, which is profoundly important. Therefore, you must make movement non-negotiable. Start simply. Walking is magical. Walk at every opportunity. Park further away. Take the stairs. Walk around your house during TV commercials. Then, I would urge you to adopt a simple rule: 20 minutes of muscle-strengthening exercise 3 times a week. This isn't about becoming a bodybuilder. It's about preserving your strength, your independence, and activating your internal pharmacy. Now, when it comes to a new exercise routine, it's especially important for us to approach it with awareness. If this involves a new or more strenuous routine, please remember to start gently and listen to your body. Some of these strategies might be more suited if you're aiming for a higher level of fitness, while others can be wonderfully adapted for consistent, gentle progress. And, as always, it's wise to discuss any significant changes with your doctor, especially if you have ongoing health considerations. Our goal here is empowerment through knowledge, so you can make the best choices for your unique situation. The nutritional reset, rebuilding your foundation. We now arrive at the cornerstone of this entire approach: your diet. What you put on the end of your fork has a more profound and immediate impact on your metabolic health than almost anything else. The central dilemma we face is the modern food environment. Our grocery stores are dominated by hyper-palatable, ultra-processed foods in packages and boxes. They are loaded with refined sugars, unhealthy fats, and stripped of the fiber and nutrients our bodies need. These foods are scientifically engineered to make us overconsume them, and they are the primary drivers of the inflammation and metabolic dysfunction at the heart of the cholesterol issue. Think of your body's health like a house you are building. You can't possibly build a strong, sturdy house that will last a lifetime on a foundation made of sand and sawdust. That's what a diet of processed foods, excess sugars, and refined carbohydrates is: a weak, unstable foundation that is bound to crumble. But a diet rich in protein, healthy fats, and antioxidants from colorful vegetables and fruits is like building your foundation with reinforced concrete and solid steel. It creates a structure that is resilient, strong, and capable of weathering any storm. Therefore, the nutritional reset involves 2 key components. First, you must ruthlessly minimize the processed junk and focus on real whole foods. A simple rule for your plate: half of it should be protein, like chicken, fish, eggs, or legumes, which is also excellent for keeping you full, and the other half should be colorful vegetables. You can still have some carbs, but they should be high quality, like sweet potatoes or quinoa, not from white bread or pasta. Second, consider introducing some form of time-restricted eating. This simply means shortening the window of time during which you eat each day. To continue our house analogy, this is like giving your construction crew a dedicated, efficient workday, followed by a necessary period of rest to allow the concrete foundation to cure and set properly. When you are constantly eating from the moment you wake up until you go to bed, your body never gets that crucial rest period to repair and reset. By simply pushing your first meal back an hour or 2 and finishing your last meal a bit earlier, you give your body a longer break from digestion, which can dramatically help to keep your insulin levels low. This isn't about starving yourself. It's about creating a smarter, more efficient schedule for your body. The vital truth: the real culprit isn't cholesterol. We have finally arrived at the most important part of our entire discussion. We've laid the groundwork, but this is the revelation that ties it all together. This is the vital truth. For decades, we've been told to fear cholesterol. We've been obsessed with the LDL number, the bad cholesterol. But what if I told you that for the vast majority of people, especially those of us diagnosed later in life, without a strong genetic predisposition, high cholesterol isn't the disease. It's the symptom. It's the smoke, not the fire. The real fire, the true root cause, the culprit working behind the scenes for years or even decades, is a condition called insulin resistance. Let's use one final crucial analogy. Imagine your body's cells are like millions of tiny houses, and each house has a locked door. To get energy, you need to get glucose, or blood sugar, from your bloodstream into these houses. The hormone insulin is the key that unlocks the doors. In a healthy person, you eat a meal, your blood sugar rises. Your pancreas releases just the right amount of insulin keys. The keys unlock the cell doors, glucose goes inside to be used for energy, and everything is perfect. But, after years of a diet high in sugars and refined carbs, your cells get bombarded with too much glucose and too many insulin keys all day long. Over time, the locks on the cell doors start to get rusty and worn out. They become resistant to the key. This is insulin resistance. Now the key, insulin, doesn't work very well anymore, so the glucose can't get into the cells and starts to build up in the bloodstream. Your body panics. It thinks, we need more keys, so your pancreas works overtime, pumping out more and more insulin to try and force those rusty doors open. This state of high insulin is what creates the metabolic chaos that leads to high blood pressure, pre-diabetes, and yes, high cholesterol, because it disrupts how your liver processes fats. Therefore, the entire goal of everything we have discussed today, from the diet to the exercise to the stress management, is not primarily to lower cholesterol. It is to fix the rusty locks. It is to reverse the insulin resistance. When you make your cells sensitive to insulin again, your body no longer needs to pump out massive amounts of it. The metabolic chaos subsides, the inflammation cools down, and as a beautiful side effect, your liver starts processing fats correctly again, and your cholesterol numbers begin to normalize naturally. This is why just focusing on the cholesterol number is like trying to fix a noisy smoke alarm by taking out the batteries, all while ignoring the fire raging in the kitchen. The vital truth is this: heal the insulin resistance, and you don't just improve a number on a lab report. You extinguish the fire and heal your body from the inside out. And there you have it, the vital truth. It shifts the entire focus from fighting a number to healing your body at a fundamental level. It's about restoring function, not just masking a symptom. So we've covered a lot of ground today. We started with our foundational habit of hydration, added in a supportive strategy with natural supplements, and then built upon the twin pillars of recovery, sleep and stress management. We activated our internal pharmacy with the movement mandate, and completely rebuilt our health with the nutritional reset. And it all led us to understanding the vital truth of insulin resistance. Each one is a stepping stone to a more vibrant, healthier you. Which of these insights resonated with you the most? Was it the idea of your body as a garden, or maybe the concept of your internal motion-activated pharmacy? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please share them in the comments below. If you found this journey valuable, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps others find our community. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more powerful strategies tailored for our fantastic community. Until next time, stay healthy, stay curious, and keep thriving.